In 2008, while millions of people were panicking, selling assets, and wondering what would happen next, a small group of investors were doing something completely different. They were buying. When fear spread through the market, they saw opportunity. When uncertainty paralyzed others, they became more active. And it wasn't the first time. The same pattern appeared during market crashes, economic recessions, financial crises, and periods of major technological change. So what do they see that everyone else misses? Why do some people emerge from uncertainty wealthier than before, while others spend years recovering from it? The answer isn't luck. It's a way of thinking about risk, opportunity, and the future that most people never learn. Most people think wealth is built during good times, when the economy is growing, when markets are rising, when opportunities seem obvious. It sounds reasonable. After all, success should be easier when everything is going well. But history tells a different story. Some of the greatest fortunes in modern history were built during periods of uncertainty. Economic crises, market crashes, technological disruptions, moments when most people were focused on protecting themselves rather than positioning themselves. Why? Because uncertainty changes behavior. And when behavior changes, opportunities emerge. Take the financial crisis of 2008. As markets collapsed, fear spread across the world, businesses struggled, investors panicked, consumers pulled back spending. For many people, it felt like the end of something. Yet while fear dominated headlines, another group was quietly making decisions. Investors were purchasing assets at prices that would have seemed impossible just a few years earlier. Businesses were acquiring competitors. Entrepreneurs were preparing for the recovery that would eventually follow. The wealthy weren't immune to fear. They weren't magically calm while everyone else panicked. The difference was that they viewed uncertainty through a different lens. Most people see uncertainty and ask, what if things get worse? The wealthy often ask, what if everyone else is overreacting? That question changes everything because markets, businesses, and entire economies are influenced by human psychology. And human psychology becomes most predictable when emotions are strongest. Fear causes people to sell valuable assets. Greed causes people to overpay for them. Panic creates distortions, and distortions create opportunities. This pattern extends far beyond investing. Think about major technological shifts. When the internet emerged, many established companies viewed it as a threat. Some ignored it completely. Others underestimated its impact. Meanwhile, a small number of entrepreneurs saw opportunity. The same thing happened with smartphones, social media, cloud computing, and now artificial intelligence. Periods of uncertainty often accompany periods of transformation. People focus on what is disappearing. The wealthy often focus on what is emerging. That's a crucial distinction. Because uncertainty is rarely random, it usually signals change, and change is where new value is created. Imagine standing at the beginning of a major technological revolution. Nobody knows exactly how events will unfold. Predictions conflict. Experts disagree. The future feels unclear. Most people wait for certainty before acting. The problem is that certainty often arrives after the biggest opportunities have passed. By the time everyone agrees something is valuable, much of the upside has already been captured. This is one reason wealthy individuals spend so much time studying history. History reveals patterns, not exact outcomes. They understand that markets recover, industries evolve, technologies mature, human behavior repeats itself. The details change, the psychology often remains remarkably similar. This doesn't mean wealthy people always make the right decisions. Far from it. They make mistakes, they misjudge trends, they experience losses. The difference is that they don't view uncertainty as a signal to stop thinking. They view it as a signal to think more carefully. While others react emotionally, they attempt to analyze. While others focus exclusively on danger, they search for opportunity hidden within the disruption. And that's where many fortunes begin. Not during moments of perfect clarity, but during moments when clarity is unavailable, because uncertainty has a strange effect. It makes future winners difficult to identify, but it also makes future opportunities significantly cheaper. And those who understand that relationship often emerge from uncertain periods far stronger than they entered them. The question is how they consistently position themselves to do it. If uncertainty creates opportunity, why don't more people benefit from it? Because opportunity during uncertain times rarely looks like opportunity. It usually looks like risk. That's the trap. When everyone feels optimistic, taking action feels easy. When everyone feels afraid, taking action feels dangerous. Yet history repeatedly shows that some of the greatest opportunities emerge precisely when confidence disappears. This is where the wealthy often separate themselves from everyone else, not because they can predict the future with perfect accuracy. They can't. Nobody can. Instead, they focus on preparation rather than prediction. Most people want certainty before making decisions. The wealthy understand that certainty is expensive. By the time an opportunity becomes obvious, competition has usually arrived. Prices have adjusted. Advantages have shrunk. The easiest gains have often disappeared. That's why experienced investors, entrepreneurs, and business builders spend less time asking, "What will happen?" and more time asking, "What happens if I'm right? What happens if I'm wrong? Can I survive being wrong?" This approach changes the game. Instead of trying to eliminate uncertainty, they learn how to operate within it. Think about some of the most successful businesses in the world. Many were built during periods that looked terrible from the outside. Companies launched during recessions. Investments made during market crashes, businesses created when industries were undergoing massive disruption. At the time, these decisions often appeared reckless. In hindsight, they look brilliant, but hindsight hides something important. The people making those decisions didn't have perfect information. They simply understood that uncertainty affects everyone equally. The difference lies in how people respond to it. Most individuals become defensive. They stop learning, stop investing, stop exploring opportunities. They focus entirely on avoiding loss. The wealthy often become more observant. They study, research, prepare. They know that periods of uncertainty eventually end, and when they do, those who prepared tend to be in a much stronger position than those who spent the entire time reacting. This doesn't mean taking reckless risks. That's a common misunderstanding. The wealthy aren't successful because they ignore risk. They're successful because they think about risk differently. Average thinking often asks, "How do I avoid risk?" Wealthy thinking often asks, "Which risks are worth taking?" That's a profound difference because every meaningful opportunity contains uncertainty. Starting a business, learning a new skill, making an investment, changing careers, building something new. None come with guarantees. The goal isn't to avoid uncertainty. The goal is to develop the ability to navigate it intelligently, and perhaps that's the greatest advantage of all. Over time, people who learn to remain rational during uncertain periods begin seeing things others miss. While crowds focus on fear, they focus on fundamentals. While others search for reassurance, they search for information. While others wait for certainty, they prepare for possibility. And over decades, those differences compound, not because they always make perfect decisions, but because they consistently position themselves where opportunity is most likely to emerge. Uncertainty has always been part of human history. Markets change, technologies evolve, economies rise and fall, entire industries are transformed. Most people experience these periods as threats. The wealthy often experience them as moments of transition, moments when assets are repriced, when new industries emerge, when future opportunities become visible to those paying attention. They don't stay ahead because they know exactly what's coming. They stay ahead because they've learned how to think when nobody else knows what's coming. And in a world changing faster than ever, that may be one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. Because the future rarely rewards those who wait for certainty. It often rewards those who prepare for possibility. Now, I'd like to hear your perspective. When uncertainty increases, what's your natural reaction? Do you become more cautious? Or do you start looking for opportunities others might be overlooking? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring the hidden principles behind wealth, business, psychology, and long-term success, subscribe and join us for the next deep dive. Because understanding how the world changes is often the first step toward benefiting from those changes.